All you need is a single light source. It doesn't have to be complicated, so you can start taking incredible photos of products just like this. I'm gonna walk you through everything you need to set up for the shoot, as well as get your gear all dialed in so you can achieve outstanding results without multiple lights and unnecessary equipment. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you did. I love teaching all of this kind of stuff, and I love photography and I love videography, and this is something I'm passionate about, so delivering value to you is something that actually gives me fulfillment. I was also once in beginner shoes, and I was looking to YouTube videos for inspiration and instructionals on how to do certain things and how to set up lighting. So if it means a little bit to you and you get something out of this, I would greatly appreciate it if you just hit subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. The first and most important element is lighting. For this photo, I'm going to use my strobe. I'll attach a large softbox to the balance mount, and I'll position it so it's to the side of my product and slightly in front. Now, I like to position my camera on a tripod pretty much at eye level with the product, a couple of feet away. Now, this can change depending on the look you want to go for, but a good rule of thumb is to keep it at eye level so you don't distort anything. Next, you'll need a curved background to keep the background looking nice and infinite. I'll attach my C-stands with these clamps, and then I'll clamp it down in the front so it doesn't move on me. Next is setting up your product. This is where I feel like you can probably go nuts and get creative with things. If you want to prop it up on something to give it a little more texture, a little more style for the shoot, feel free to do that right now. All right, so everything's all set up, lighting, backdrop, camera. We're ready to rock and roll. So we need our product. What are we shooting today? We're shooting Bear granola. No affiliation to Bear granola whatsoever. I just saw it in the grocery store today. My wife likes granola. Picked it up. I thought the packaging looked really cool. I had apples and cinnamon sticks at home, so I thought we could add some nice subtle elements to really help this product packaging pop. I love shooting granola too. It's one of my favorite things to shoot. There's so much texture, there's so much character in it, so we can make it look really good. It was either that or Reese's, because I'm a Reese's fiend, but this packaging looked a little bit too shiny. So we are going to do the Bear, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it all set up. There she is, and then I have my apples and cinnamon sticks over there, but let's chat a little bit about camera settings first. My shutter speed is going to be constant at 1/125. That's what I set it at when I'm shooting with my strobe. I rarely change it. Next is my ISO, and this can vary, but I keep it anywhere from ISO 100 to 400. Let's set it to 200 for right now. My aperture is the one that's always changing, so in order to keep my product in focus, I'm gonna set it at an f9 or higher. Remember, as you close the aperture down, as it gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and those numbers go up and up and up, this will increase your depth of field and more of your product will become in focus. So I wanna keep it at an f9 or higher for this case. Then we will change the power on our flash to accommodate all of our camera settings. So I'll change the power on my trigger so it changes the power on my flash until I like what I see in the image. I'll take test shots throughout to make sure we're looking good. Now, if you need to bring in more light to the opposite side of your image, try bringing in a white foam board to the edge of your scene and move that as close as you possibly can without it getting into your frame if you want the maximum amount of light back into your image. So what happens is the light crosses your product, it hits that white foam board, and it comes right back into your scene, elevating those shadows and bringing up the overall light in your image. So in order to spice this scene up a little bit, I have some fake leaves here that I like. This is an apple cinnamon flavor, so I want it to kind of feel and look a little bit like fall. I'm having trouble finding my cinnamon sticks, but I know they're around here somewhere. I have some apples, and then I also have some granola with a spoon in a dish to help complement this entire scene and really bring the packaging to life. That's the goal here. I found the cinnamon sticks, yay! Honestly, leaving it on the tripod is like the best thing you can do for this, because you can take test shots and test shots and test shots and see how you like it as you go. Like if you can place cinnamon sticks in front, an apple behind, an apple in front. You want to play around with your scene a little bit and kind of get a gauge of what feels right throughout, because you'll know if there's too much in there, if there's too less, or you need to add a leaf here in the back to fill some white space or leave some more negative space because there's too much stuff. So that's what's nice about leaving it on the tripod, leaving it locked. You can take test shots throughout and keep experimenting a little bit. So we're going to throw some cinnamon sticks down. We're going to throw an apple or two down, some leaves, really kind of bring this granola packaging to life. I'm going to bring my light a little more in front just to help that packaging pop a little bit more. And none of these are going to be final. I am going to throw a whiteboard on the other side just to bring up some of those shadows a little bit here. But overall, I think it's looking pretty good. We're getting closer for sure. I love the bowl of granola. I'm going to throw a spoon in there too. And I'm actually going to raise my camera up just a tad here so you can see a little bit more what's in that bowl. And I'm shooting at almost a 70mm focal length for product photography. Anywhere from like 50 to 100 is good, because you get really nice compression, but that's not to be said for like every single shoot. It's going to change depending on what you're shooting. More of the granola is in focus, more of the apple is in focus. Overall, it's just looking a lot better. The only thing I would potentially add is maybe just like a little thing of milk. I don't know, my wife likes to eat granola with milk, so that's like the only thing I would add, but I'm pretty happy with like how this looks. So let's throw the whiteboard up. I'm gonna get some final shots of this image and then we'll be all done. Now I'll always get a few extra shots of like close-ups of the granola, close-ups of the bag, different focal lengths, different angles to really help just to capture other elements of the scene and capture different angles of the packaging and bag, because I might hop into the editor and find out that I like a different angle better than what I shot on the tripod. I'm just gonna dive in here, do a couple images, and then you'll be able to see some of the results from handheld too. That's pretty much it for the simplest single light source product photography tutorial I can provide to you. If you'd like to see a full list of the gear that I use, I've linked it all down below so you can start taking pics exactly like me. As always, if you have any questions about anything at any time, hit me up at Jeb West on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. And I love chatting cameras and gear. I love nerding out about that kind of stuff. Don't hesitate to shoot me a message. I'll be sure to respond to you. We can chat over there. Peace.